My name is Mick Crumbock. Mick is short for Michael, and I am Director of Government Relations and Advocacy at the University of Illinois, Chicago. Sure, the UIC Office of Government Relations and Advocacy, or GRA for short, is a unit within the Chancellor's Office that supports university leadership and all members of the UIC community, so students, staff, and faculty, by joining with folks from across the entire University of Illinois system to build strong relationships with elected officials at all levels of government, so city, county, state, and federal, to ensure that the university remains nimble and responsive and best able to fulfill its mission in a rapidly changing educational landscape. So in short, we do everything. I like to joke that we do things from potholes to the Capitol. So if there is a pothole in front of Student Center East and we need the city of Chicago to fill it, we will work on that. And if my colleagues and I need to go up to Capitol Hill in DC to meet with our senators and congressmen, we do that too. So we do potholes to legislation and everything in between. Carnegie won ranking is huge from my perspective. So for those who may not be aware, institutions of higher learning, whether they be public or private, are ranked according to the level of research intensity, right? So UIC as a level 1 institution is really at the very top of that ranking system. And that's really important for me as someone who engages with folks in a public space, because it allows me to show them that we are not only providing academic excellence in the classroom and training the next generation of leaders, right? But we're also conducting innovative and groundbreaking research into diverse areas, whether it be healthcare and medicine, or engineering, or public policy, or the humanities, or any one of a broad array of disciplines. And that in turn enables us to engage confidently with our government partners and show that we are making a real difference in the real lives of real people in the city of Chicago and across the state of Illinois. Yeah, that's a great question. So, as you're aware, civic engagement is a hot topic, and it continues to be the subject of lively debate. As someone who sits where I'm sitting right now, civic engagement is a form of external engagement. That means going beyond the usual suspects, right? In this case, elected and appointed officials, to expand the conversation, to bring in voices, whether they be neighborhood organizations or philanthropies or policy and advocacy groups or the faith-based community or the business community or what have you, in order to, again, to expand the conversation and to start tapping the collective wisdom and just bring as many eyes as possible onto developing solutions, for the problems that places like UIC are facing today. I think what really keeps me going in my work is, and I say this in all sincerity, is being at a place like UIC. So in my career, I have either worked or studied, if memory serves, at 7 institutions of higher learning, and UIC really is a unique place. And one thing that I didn't mention before is that, I'm the advisor to the UIC Student Advocacy Coalition and get to work students hands-on, which is something that not every government relations professional does. And that means a lot to me and keeps me going, because many years ago, back in the day, I was someone who was a first-generation college student who really had no one to guide me through that process, and who consequently made every mistake that you could possibly make during your undergraduate and graduate education. And now that I'm at UAC, I really value the opportunity to be able to help students, many of whom are first gen, not all, but many of whom are first gen, to guide them through that process and help them get a faster, smarter start than the one I had a long time ago. Boy, that's hard to say because there's so many fun things to do, but I was brainstorming this morning, and I think if I had to pick one thing, I would say that my family and I really enjoy eating comfort food at kind of small, obscure holes in the wall that maybe folks aren't aware of, but that offer really great experience and really good food. So there's a local restaurant in my neighborhood called Ragin' Cajun, which, despite the name, is actually an Indian restaurant and is really good. But just exploring kind of quirky, offbeat places and learning about things by word of mouth as opposed to advertising. Well, interesting that we were just talking about Cajun food because I like my coffee without cream and without sugar, but with chicory. So I don't know if everyone's aware of chicory, but it's a ground up vegetable root that you add to coffee, and it makes the coffee smoother and less bitter. And I've been drinking it that way for 35 years, and I recommend it to anyone. So with chicory.